Why do millennials struggle to rest? And what would it look like if we finally gave ourselves permission to stop? Hey, it's Alex, and welcome back to This is Fine, a Millennial Diary. We've arrived at the end of Volume 6, Work, Worth, and the Hustle Myth. And man, it's been quite a ride. We started with this volume by asking what it means to climb a career ladder while crying. And along the way, we've peeled back so many layers of our millennial life. We've talked about the side hustle industrial complex and how every passion got monetized until joy, well, that became labor. We've unpacked what it means to be a millennial boss trying to fix the same systems that broke us. We relived unpaid internships and underpaid dreams where we built careers on free labor. We admitted we sometimes just think, I don't want to work ever. We reminded ourselves that productivity is not a personality. We celebrated quitting with, I quit and I'm not sorry, because walking away is power. We confronted the truth that the office gave us PTSD because workplace trauma is very real. And we laughed through retirement in this economy because sometimes the only way to cope is to joke. And now, well, we're here, the heart of it all, talking about what might be the hardest skill for our generation: resting without guilt. Because you see, for millennials, man, rest feels like a crime. We can't sit still without our brain whispering stuff like, you should be doing something. You see, it's not our fault. We were raised in a world that taught us hustle was holy, that busy meant valuable, that slowing down meant falling behind. Even our childhood downtime had pressure. Remember how summers we were supposed to be productive, read more, learn skills, prep for college. Man, even rest was performance. So when we finally try to stop, our nervous system doesn't know how. The body is on pause, but God, the brain is still on overdrive. You see, the irony is that as kids, we knew how to rest. We'd lay on the floor watching Saturday morning cartoons with cereal crumbs all over us. Zero shame about it, by the way. We'd spend whole afternoons staring at clouds or playing Game Boy until the batteries died. That was real rest. No agenda, no guilt, just being. But somewhere along the way that disappeared. I don't know. Maybe it was student loans. Maybe it was capitalism. Maybe it was just growing up. But whatever it was, man, we lost that permission to do absolutely nothing. Now, rest isn't laziness. It's actually repair. It's literally how the brain and the body heal. But we treat it like a reward instead of a requirement. We tell ourselves we'll rest after the next project, after the next goal, after we've earned it, after I record this podcast. And you know what? That day never comes, because when your worth is tied to productivity, you'll never feel like you've done enough to deserve peace. And the truth is that you don't have to earn rest. You just have to allow it and let it take over you. This is my favorite part of the show here, where I compare and contrast. Now, millennials apologize for taking breaks. We say things like, sorry, I'm late. I needed a mental moment, as if needing space is shameful. But Gen Z, well, they'll log off mid-shift and say, I needed a break. They treat boundaries like survival tools, not luxuries. And while we might roll our eyes at it sometimes, maybe they've cracked the code because they're living in a world we helped expose. But they're choosing not to repeat the same cycle. See that? We ran ourselves into the ground so they could see the warning signs a lot sooner. And that's something... well, that's something to be proud of. So I ask you this: how do we rest without guilt? Well, it might start with giving ourselves permission to stop performing. Turn off the productivity tracker, take a nap, say no to the quick favors, sit outside and do absolutely nothing, and don't apologize for it. Because you're not lazy. You're healing from a system that convinced you exhaustion was virtue. And maybe rest is the rebellion our generation needed all along. So, I got to ask you guys, what have we learned through all of this? Well, for starters, we're not lazy. We're just hell of exhausted. We're not entitled. We're overextended. And the only way forward is to redefine worth, not by work, but by wellness. We've unlearned grind culture, called out exploitation, laughed through our burnout, and now we're learning how to rest. Damn it, hopefully without shame. And as I close out this volume, we are moving into something even more personal. Volume 7 will be all about family culture and generational disconnect. We're diving into where we came from, the families that shaped us, the cultures that raised us, the guilt we carry, and the healing we're still trying to figure out. We'll talk about generational trauma passed down like Tupperware, family group chat chaos, boundaries that feel like rebellion, and learning how to love people who grew up in a completely different world than we did. It's going to be raw, funny, emotional, but most of all, it's going to be deeply human. And we will connect over it. So make sure you're subscribed. Share the episode with someone who's trying to rest without guilt, by the way. And check out alexiscardoza.com for YouTube and, well, the socials. Because, hey, you've earned this pause. You've earned this breath. And this, well, it's fine.
Goodbye.